welcome back to my channel. It's Adelaide here, back with another video, and in today's video I will be showing you guys how I cut and dyed my hair by myself at home. This is the color that my hair is right now. It's like a brown, warm brown ginger. I don't know how to explain this color like fully, but you can see. So initially I cut my hair 5 months ago, and it obviously has been growing since then. My hair grows pretty fast, honestly, so I've been having to cut it like pretty frequently, but it was getting long again and I cut it again. Sorry, let me just wait for the lighting to come back. Yeah, so recently I cut it, and this time I cut it shorter than I cut it the first time. If I still have like a video or picture of when I first cut my hair, I'll insert, I think I should, I'll insert that picture. So this time it definitely is much shorter than that time, but I really like it. I've been really liking the short look. It's just easy maintenance. And yeah, it's just really easy to style. But let's just get into the video. So basically I filmed the whole process. I filmed it on my phone, so I will be inserting video footage of how I actually did everything, but I thought it would be cool if I also sit down and like explain it while the video is playing so that you guys can hear and also see at the same time. So the first time that I dyed my hair before, and I'll insert a picture of what my hair looked like that time. That time, the hair dye process was a little bit complicated. I had to use 4 different box dyes. It took a really long time. I used the Garnier Fructis hair dye, used that twice, did not do anything to my hair. My hair was pretty much still black with like the tiniest hint of brown. Then I used the Silk Elements hair dye, and I used the color Cinnamon Brown, which was like a red color, which wasn't even really the color I wanted, but that's the hair dye that they had in the store. So I tried that one. That pretty much worked, but it still wasn't really where I wanted it to be. And then I dyed it again with the Dark and Lovely hair dye, which is the one that I used again this time. Let me talk through the process of how I did this. So first, my hair is already cut into the shape that I want it to be. It's already shorter at the back, and already was shorter at the back and longer at the top. So basically all I did is follow the same shape that my hair was already in. I just cut everything shorter. I don't know how I was able to do this because I didn't even have a mirror or anything to see the back of my head. I could only see the front. So I literally would just grab hair from the back and just cut it. I don't know why. I've noticed like I'm a lot less like holding on to my hair. I feel like before I would never do that, like cut it without seeing it properly, but I guess this time I just wanted to cut it. So I did it without seeing the back properly, and it came out pretty well, so I'm happy about that. But I basically just followed the same shape that my hair was already in, and I cut it, and I'll insert obviously the video of me actually doing that so you guys can see. So So first I start by cutting my hair. After cutting the hair, that is when I then went in with the hair dye. So I used the Dark Lovely Fade and Resist hair dye in the number 377, which is the color Sun-Kissed Brown. And I highly recommend, if you have natural hair and you want to dye your hair, use hair dye from a brand that makes products for natural hair. I highly recommend that, because I used the Garnier dye and it just did not work at all. And I'm assuming and I left it in longer than the bottle said to leave it in. I'm assuming the reason it did not work is because it's not suited for natural hair, and I know natural hair can be a lot thicker than straight hair, so just go right for a brand that is for natural hair. Dark and Lovely, I mean, they sell relaxers, but it is designed for women of color, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And then Silk Elements has hair dye. Cream of Nature has hair dye that I've heard is really, really good. And then Shea Moisture has like hair color too. So I recommend going for brands. If you are a woman of color or if you have natural hair, I do recommend going for a brand that is suited towards women of color and people who have natural hair, because I think it'll just react better. So yeah, I used the Dark and Lovely hair dye in 377 Sun-Kissed Brown. Basically, it comes with a cream developer, it comes with the hair color, the cream developer, and then it also comes with a conditioner that you use after, and it also comes with gloves that you obviously need to wear. So I'd recommend using an old towel, an old t-shirt, just anything that you don't mind getting stains on. And I also would be careful when you're applying the hair dye so that you don't like spray it anywhere on like the surfaces in your bathroom, wherever you're doing it. You just don't want to like stain anything around you, so make sure that you are careful when you're doing it. And also, the smell is pretty strong, so I would recommend leaving your door open and leaving the window open as well, because the smell is honestly, it's really, really strong. Yeah, so basically all you need to do is take the top off of the cream developer, put in the hair color in the cream developer, then you shake it up together. Make sure that you cover the top of the bottle with your finger, just since it's open, you don't want anything to come out. So you shake it up until it's mixed. Then you want to divide your hair into sections. Now my hair was very, very short, so I didn't necessarily like divide it into sections fully, because I had cut it. So I divided it as much as I could, and I did it kind of section by section. So you just take the hair color, you squeeze a little bottle into each section, and I took my hands, obviously with the gloves on, make sure that you wear the gloves, and I just kind of raked the product through each section to make sure that the product was evenly distributed. And I made sure that like I put a lot of hair dye in each section, because I wanted the color to be a lot more vibrant than the first time I dyed it. The first time I dyed it, you could see the color, but it wasn't as like punchy as I wanted it to be. Like, I don't want my hair to still look like black, but like with a little bit of color. I want it to look like a different color, which I feel like I've gotten there now. I mean, as soon as you look at me, you can tell that I've dyed my hair, and that's what I wanted. So I'm happy with how it came out this time. So I made sure that I like fully saturated each section with the hair dye, just to make sure that it really, really got the color in. So go through each section, make sure that you saturate your hair, and also make sure that you detangle your hair too. So before I would put the hair dye in, I would go in with my wide tooth comb and comb out the section to make sure that it was detangled first. And then I would comb it after a little bit too, just to make sure that the hair dye was really covering every strand. And then also what I would do is I would kind of part the hair, just to make sure that I wasn't just placing the hair dye at the top, but just making sure that it was going through every section. So I just did that throughout my whole head.
Purchase your tracks today.
and then I took a plastic bag or a garbage bag and I just ripped a little bit of it, and then that's what I used to cover my hair so that the hair dye could process. And I left that in for about an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. I don't remember because I didn't time it exactly, but the bottle does say that if you have relaxed hair, you should leave it in for 20 minutes. If you have natural hair, leave it in for 30 minutes. Now, my natural hair was very, very dark, so in order to get to this color, 30 minutes was not enough. I did check after 30 minutes and it barely had done anything, so I left it in for about an hour and a half. Don't know if I recommend that because when I did wash the hair dye out, I will insert a video of what it looked like. The front section of my hair, some of it was a little bit straight when I started styling it with the finger coil. So typically when I would do finger coils in the past, which I will also insert a video of that, when I would do finger coils when my hair was not dyed at all, as soon as I like coiled the hair around my finger, it would curl back up. But after I washed the hair dye out this time, I was doing finger coils in the front of my head, and it was like the hair was still kind of straight, and it took a while for it to curl back up. And it didn't even, honestly, it didn't even curl back up until I like started blow drying it, and I actually ended up just cutting that front part of my hair. So I'll insert a video of what it looked like if I didn't insert it already, and you'll see that like the front part was pretty much straight, like it was pretty much wavy, whereas my hair is more like coily. So I did have to cut that part off. I don't know if that's because I left the dye in for too long, because I did leave it in for about an hour and a half, and the bottle says half an hour, so I don't know if I recommend leaving it in for that long. But if it's the first time that you are dyeing your hair, the color might not process fully if you just leave it in for the time that the bottle says, which is why I left it in for longer. But yeah, I'm even like watching a video right now, which I probably already inserted, of when I washed my hair out, when I washed the dye out, and my hair pattern is definitely looser than it was before. So it definitely did change the pattern of my hair, but that also could be because the first time that I tried to dye my hair, I used 4 different box dyes, and I used them in a very short time span. Usually you're supposed to wait a while before dyeing your hair again. But the first time that I dyed my hair with the Garnier dye, I washed it out and then I put in the second box of dye right after it. Like I didn't leave any time at all, and you're not supposed to use dye on freshly washed hair. That didn't even work, and then I think 2 days later I bought another hair dye, and then maybe like a day later I bought the next hair dye and I used it on freshly washed hair, which you're not supposed to do. So all of these things of what I did could contribute to why it damaged my hair a little bit. I'm sure if you like follow the instructions a lot better, it might not dye your hair that much, but if you follow what I did, then I would say be careful because it might damage your hair a little bit. But like I said, I really don't mind. So I styled my hair like I usually do with my wash and go. I used a few new products that I'm gonna use a few more times, and if this routine works for my hair, then I will definitely do a video using those products. But I styled my hair and I ended up cutting the front section of my hair. So right here is like a lot shorter than it was initially, which I honestly don't mind. I like the short look. Like I like how it looks, so I don't mind. But I ended up cutting this front section off because it just looked a little bit damaged. It was just, yeah, it just had to go. So I cut that off, and that's basically it. Okay, so that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. I think I went over everything. Like I said, I will have the inserted pictures and videos so that you guys can see the actual process of me dyeing my hair. Let me know if you have dyed your natural hair before or if you are thinking of it. Hopefully this video also helped anyone who's like been thinking about dyeing their hair, like whether you should do it or not. Like I said, I think it's a really good idea. It changes up your look. It's really, really nice. I just would say like be wary because it may damage your hair. And if you are really trying to like keep your hair on a healthy natural hair journey, then you might want to like proceed with caution or just be careful of what hair dyes you use. But if you don't mind experimenting with different colors and stuff, then I definitely would recommend it. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I also am filming a vlog on like behind the scenes of how I set up. So I showed in that vlog how I set up for today's video, how I set up for all my videos, and then also the process of like taking pictures for Instagram. So if you're interested in watching that, I will have that in the cards that are up. That video will probably be up after this video, so once that video is up, I'll put it in the cards and in the description box below if you want to see how I like set up for this video and everything. But for today's video, that's going to be the end. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and also make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!